This kind of love is getting expensive. We know how to live, baby. We're luxurious like Egyptian cotton. Dun, 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 dun. We're so rich in love. We're rolling in cash.
All right.
Okay, fine.
Doctor said you got PCOS. Now go on, girl, just lose some weight. Till I took the symptoms into my own hands and reversed them naturally. So I became a dietitian to help my sisters feel the best they've ever felt. Take a step in my direction if you wanna prove them wrong and take control of yourself. Join a sister and a mister.
What's up, sisters?
Sisters.
Welcome to another episode of the podcast. So today, if you don't know what song we're singing, that was Luxurious by Gwen Stefani, the OG, early 2000s.
We are obsessed with that song.
Yeah. I guess like that's when music used to be
Good.
shizzle, man. You know what I mean? Like it was so good back then.
Beats would just
Like 50
take
Cent.
you.
I remember Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
The early 2000s were the shit.
Those were the
just saying.
days.
It was the days.
Well,
Don't matter.
now is now. It's fine.
Yeah. We still got great music now.
That's good.
I don't know. Maybe.
I love Beyonce, so.
Oh, Beyonce is good, but the auto-tune, all that kind of stuff. I mean, but anyway, what's up, everyone? Hope you're doing well. It is PCOS Awareness Month. It's September. So I just
Yes.
want to give a big shout out to all our sisters for being here, for listening, and just being part of PCOS Awareness Month with us.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
This month, we want to fuel all our sisters with motivation to take the next steps to
Yeah.
reversing PCOS and living symptom free. And yeah, we have lots of surprises this month.
Yeah, we're actually doing a very, very special deal with Ovasitol. So we partnered with Ovasitol to give you an amazing bonus. So anyone who orders Ovasitol in the month of September with our PRC code 292660, they will receive a 2-week extra supply of Ovasitol and a 2-week trial in the sisterhood with every purchase of Ovasitol. So
Yes.
you still get your 3-month supply of Ovasitol when you order, but in addition, you'll be getting 2 weeks extra supply and a 2-week free trial, all meant to just give you all the tools you need in September to
Yeah.
basically tackle your PCOS, manage your symptoms, lose weight, and just thrive.
So exciting.
Yeah.
You know, one day we'll have like a PCOS concert for September Awareness Month, and we'll be throwing out Ovasitol packets into the crowd
I know, that'd be great.
and
That's
just
gonna
like
be great.
hyping everyone up. But until that day, we are here passing out 2 weeks free of Ovasitol for anyone who orders with our PRC code.
Yeah, and 2-week free of the sisterhood.
That's right.
And we do have we have a very fun episode next week. It's going to be with Taline's friend and sister. So Liana and Arlene are going to join us. We've never had 4 people live or 4 people in the studio.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be over Zoom. It's going to be with the mics. It's going to be legit.
It's so much fun. Liana is actually a sister. She has
Yeah.
PCOS. And then my sister is also a sister. She has PCOS. So we'll be talking all things PCOS lifestyle.
Yeah.
And Sirak, our host, will be there to support us and direct us.
Yeah, it's a really fun episode. We can't wait till you listen to that one. And today's episode, we're going to talk about incorrect but well-meaning advice about PCOS. You know, this can be advice coming from friends, from family, from doctors, from specialists, etc. And I think it's a really good episode to start off, you know, PCOS Awareness Month, because
Yeah.
one of the most difficult aspects of PCOS is that not everyone gets the help that they deserve from their practitioner. Not all practitioners are well informed. There are great doctors out there, but there are unfortunately some who are just not up to date with PCOS.
So many are not up to date with PCOS, and there's all this misinformation going around, and we're happy to debunk all the myths
Yeah.
and just talk about the just insaneness of some of these messages. I mean,
What was your experience, babe, with like finding a practitioner, finding a doctor in your journey when you started?
well, I went to a lot of gynecologists and I realized that none of them were going to give me what I was looking for, which was
Like, what do they
lifestyle
tell you?
changes.
Well, like, what are some of the things that they told you the first couple you went to?
Just PCOS, it's a hormonal condition, take birth control. We don't know too much about it. There's not much you can do. Like, it was very painful and like emotionally painful to not get answers.
Yeah,
right?
like you felt basically alone in the doctor's office.
Yeah,
right?
it was just alone. And I realized that the answers I was looking for with diet and lifestyle changes were going to come from a different type of doctor. So I started seeing naturopathic doctors and gynecologists who specialize in functional medicine, specifically Dr. Phyllis Gersh, who wrote PCOS SOS.
Oh, yeah.
Great book, life-changing. She gave me lots of advice. But of course, doing all of the things I learned was what was the kicker. Like, took a lot of years to implement the diet changes, the exercise changes, which I only learned from you, in fact, and the lifestyle. So
Yeah. It's very similar to what we hear from other sisters and their experiences at the doctor's office, feeling scared and alone, feeling like the doctor is not answering your questions, feeling like the doctor is not even listening to you. It's almost like the doctor has made up their mind, and no matter what you tell them, what questions you're going to ask them, they're going to give you the same answer of birth control, metformin, or just lose weight, or any of those, default answers that we've heard come from you, sisters. So that's why we want to start off this month with this episode, because we want to debunk some of these incorrect pieces of advice, and we also want to talk about Talian's journey, and hopefully to inspire you, to motivate you to know that there are better practitioners out there and there are ways you can still improve your PCOS symptoms.
We want to debunk some of these things so you don't feel like this is the end.
Yeah. And the great thing about them is we actually got all the answers from you. So we actually went on Instagram. If you don't follow us, our Instagram is at pcos.weightloss, pcos.weightloss. And our podcast also has a Instagram too, a sister and her mister. But on the pcos.weightloss page, we asked you, what's the most incorrect, well-meaning advice you've received about PCOS? Most incorrect, well-meaning advice. We got about 20 answers. We're going to go through each one a little quickly, not too slow. Don't worry. It's not going to be a 3-hour long going over each response, but we're going to go over each response and kind of talk about them and see how you, maybe sisters, you relate to it. And we'll just talk about it.
Yeah.
Cool. So why don't you start us off, babe, with the first response that we got?
All right. So D-Rob Fry says, if you eat healthy and work out, you'll lose the weight. PCOS isn't real.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
People like some doctors or some people think that PCOS isn't real because they just want to blame you they think that you ate too much and then you got PCOS and this is the result of just like gaining weight or something like that, when it's the opposite. If you have a genetic predisposition to PCOS, or if you have, environmental factors that are triggering PCOS, stress and so on, and inflammatory foods, it will trigger PCOS if everyone's different, and so it might just trigger PCOS. That doesn't mean that it's your fault.
Yeah.
And I really think that a lot of people just don't think PCOS is real, honestly.
It's crazy. Like, they think that it's just about calories in, calories out, burning calories and whatnot.
It's your fault.
And
you didn't do XYZ.
Yeah. And no one stops to think about, but how does food actually impact your body? How does your metabolic dysfunction actually impact your body's ability to burn energy and use it for fuel? How does insulin resistance impact your body's, like I said, impact your body's way of processing sugar into energy? These are all things that are working against a lot of women with PCOS. So when you say, oh, just eat less, work out more, it throws all of that out the window.
Exactly. 1 in 10 women have PCOS, and in some countries, 1 in 5 women have PCOS. That's a lot of women with PCOS, and it just goes to show that there's no one-size-fits-all approach for a woman, because we have hormones, we have hormonal fluctuations over a period of 28 days. Everyone is different, in terms of what factors affect us, and there's no one-size-fits-all. And just because you're not doing what someone else is doing, that doesn't mean that PCOS isn't real and you weren't trying hard enough, and so you have all these symptoms.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes me so mad.
I know. And we always see these messages too on Instagram, like the comments that come from sisters who are telling us their experience. And like we saw it on a live today, a live.
We did.
It got me so angry because someone said that their doctor told them to just lose weight and that, PCOS is in their head or something.
She got PCOS because she gained weight.
Oh, yeah. Because she got PCOS because she gained weight.
The level of ignorance.
Yeah, it's a complete opposite.
PCOS is a metabolic disorder.
Yeah.
And so you gain weight because your metabolism is in stress.
Yeah. All right, babe, let's take a moment to correct our posture, take a deep breath, and have some pure spectrum CBD.
Sure. Hey, sisters, CBD can help with acne, inflammation, anxiety, sleep, and so many other PCOS symptoms. I personally take it throughout the day to help keep my stress hormones nice and low. Not to mention, I sleep like a baby every night and I don't wake up fatigued at all.
Now open your mouth, please, so I can give you a serving.
Ah.
Now hold it for 60 seconds. Head over to purespectrumcbd.com and use the code THESISTERHOOD, one word, for 10% off.
Can I stop now?
Nope, you got 30 more seconds. Let's
Okay,
go to the
next.
next one. So the next response was from WinB95. She says, just relax, stop stressing. All you need is a drink. Wow.
Wow.
That's a good one right there that WinB brought up right there. You know, why don't you talk about the impact of stress, babe, and how that actually has an impact on other symptoms of PCOS?
Yeah. Well, you know, she's saying stop stressing, but you can't. Even if you're on like a vacation in the south of France, like I once was, you can have stress because of your hormonal levels. Like if your cortisol is high and dysregulated, you're laying on this beautiful beach, but you're burning up inside, just like, you know, that feeling where you're just like anxious, but no reason.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, and that is hormonal. And you can't just fix that by saying, I'm not going to be stressed. You have to implement a lot of different lifestyle changes to support your cortisol levels so that your body doesn't reach that point. And then there are other things like high testosterone that affects our anxiety as well. And so you have to do all these other things like blood sugar regulation to manage your testosterone.
Yeah.
So you can't just say like, stop stressing. And you certainly like drinking is not going to help.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere like women with PCOS should avoid drinking alcohol like the plague.
Oh, yeah. It was in a book, right? I think.
I want
Yeah.
to say it's PCOS SOS.
Yeah, maybe I'm not
Cracks me
sure.
up.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, according to research, 40 to 50% of PCOS women have anxiety and or depression. So this is not something that's like not real. Like this is a real issue. So to tell someone to just say stop, it basically like is a disservice, and it just throws away all that all that data right there. That's you know, there.
How about we investigate what's happening underneath and get the hormones back to balance?
Yeah.
And then let's take it from there.
All right, let's go to the next response, babe.
Nourished by Ali says, you can eat more carbs, but only if you work out more.
So basically kind of focusing on calories in, calories out, or like eat whatever you can work out, you know, like basically whatever you can burn off kind of a ideology right there.
Like you can have that cookie if you're going to run 5 miles later.
I mean, like, that's not the right, I mean, that's not
awful.
not a healthy way of looking at it, right?
That has nothing to do with work. Like your carbs have nothing to do with how much you're going to work out that day. It's
you
not
shouldn't
like a
change your
calorie
carbs
thing.
day to day because you're doing something. Yeah.
It just depends on your level of insulin sensitivity. Like if you can handle 100 grams of carbs in a day, then that's how much you eat. It doesn't matter how much you're going to work out later. It's just how much your body can handle.
Yeah.
And of course you can handle more the more you lift weights and the more you improve your insulin sensitivity.
Yeah, it's just about finding your carb tolerance. It's not about, you know, going from like 50 grams to 150 grams to 80 grams randomly.
Just because you're going to like exercise later or whatever.
Yeah. All right. The next response is from Mercedes Nav. Is that like a Mercedes navigation kind of like a username? Her name is Mercedes Nav. She says, your body can't lose weight on its own. Try diet pills. Wow.
Yeah.
This is something you talked about before too.
It's so aggravating. People are handed diet pills when they have PCOS instead of talking about metabolism and how to improve insulin levels and cortisol levels, the two driving factors for PCOS weight gain.
Yeah.
I mean, what is a diet pill going to do for you? I'm so confused. What is it going to do? It's going to temporarily make you lose weight. It's going to make you miserable. It's going to throw...
And it may not even do that because they're so like vague in how they work.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to throw off your hormones even more.
Yeah.
And then you're going to rely on it. And then, oh my gosh, the yo-yo dieting. And then here we go again.
Yeah. The tricky thing is we all, like, no matter what your end goal is, we all want like the easiest, fastest solution. So when someone says diet pills, it's so easy to just be like, yeah, like I'd rather do that than, you know, whatever else. But then we don't realize that it's better to focus on the root cause of what's causing these issues, like improving insulin resistance, improving the metabolic dysfunction that actually improves the weight loss progress from within for more sustainable results. Because what's going to happen when you get off the diet pills? It may get worse.
It's just going to get worse. Exactly. Because you didn't address anything about PCOS.
Yeah.
You're just ignoring this beast of an issue that takes time and energy to really understand and investigate. Just ignore it, take the diet pills or birth control or whatever, and move on. All right. Next.
Loves diet lots. She says, drink a fruit smoothie for breakfast. I mean, a smoothie is a great option for a breakfast with protein, healthy fats. You could add a fruit in there, but not a complete fruit smoothie.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's nutritious. It's healthy. Lots of vitamins and minerals. Everyone thinks that like an acai bowl is a great breakfast option, but it's just a lot of fruit.
A lot of sugar you're loading upon in the morning.
I know. And we talk about fruit a lot, and we talk about how eating a fruit a day, especially if you're first starting out to manage your insulin resistance, is ideal because you don't want to
one piece of fruit, right? One fruit, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of relying on a bunch of fruit to curb your cravings and stuff, because it's going to make it worse. It's still sugar,
Yeah. And that's just while you're managing your insulin resistance at the beginning. You just want to have like maybe an apple, an orange. Just basically, you can even focus on blueberries or just berries, in fact, because they have low sugar content compared to other fruits. So just in the beginning, when you're managing insulin resistance, you don't want to be loading up on fruit in the morning, especially because that's like having 50, 60 grams of sugar just to start off your day. Yeah, no protein. And that's going to make you actually have cravings just an hour later.
Yeah.
If anybody who's had a fruit smoothie, let us know, like comment on our Instagram. Do you get cravings immediately, like an hour, maybe even less after?
I had a patient who would get lightheaded and dizzy after breakfast every day. She wouldn't even be able to like get up from a chair because her head was spinning and like she had to take care of her kids and this and that. And I was like, what are you eating for breakfast? And she told me, and then we changed it to a more high protein, high fat option, like a smoothie with a bunch of protein and fat. And she felt so much better.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like, a bunch of fruit in the morning, although that sounds like delicious, obviously, is not going to give you the energy to get through the day and like take care of your kids and do all these things.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but basically when you have something with a lot of sugar, like a fruit smoothie, what happens is you eat it and then your blood sugar goes really high. And then it comes crashing down like a roller coaster. And that's when you're feeling that like fatigue, lightheaded, dizziness, and even cravings, because that huge drop, like a roller coaster in that blood sugar.
Exactly. And fruit has fiber and water in it, so it's not as bad as eating like a piece of candy.
No, of course not.
But it still is going to give you that crash if that's the only thing you're eating.
Yeah. All right.
Aj Betty. If you keep eating chocolate chip cookies, your
Ovaries, I think.
your ovaries will keep looking like them.
What? If you keep eating chocolate chip cookies, oh my God, that's what I'm guessing, like a doctor or someone told them. I'm guessing what they were trying to say is you're eating chocolate chip cookies. That's why
you
your
have ovarian cysts.
Oh my God. Man, that is a horrible thing to say.
People say the craziest things. One person, I don't know if I wrote this down, DM'd me and said, the doctor said, stop going to Burger King and you'll be fine. I mean, what are you saying?
Yeah. And you can still there's still people who go to Burger King and still maintain a healthy lifestyle.
You can eat gluten dairy free at Burger King
Absolutely.
if you want.
So even that is okay. It's just like to automatically assume this and this results to that and that. You know what I mean? It's just,
Yeah, it doesn't at all. Like you said, I mean, I'm joking when I say you can eat gluten and dairy free at Burger King, but like really, like if you eat Burger King, you're not going to get ovarian cysts. If you eat chocolate, what kind of stupid...
Yeah, for sure.
My cortisol is going up. Christ. What's next?
All right. Next one is from Anna Jones. She says, go to the weight loss clinic to do 30 minutes of cardio daily. Now, just to I want to break this into two parts. Someone saying go to the weight loss clinic is just disrespectful. They don't have to say weight loss clinic or just
how about step outside and go for a walk to. But that's not what they're trying to say. They're saying go to the weight loss clinic so we know that you went.
Yeah, and so you can lose weight and
so you can do 30 minutes of cardio. Exactly.
Yeah, there's a better way of saying it, which I would have said, oh, just try going on a 15 to 20 minute walk every other day or every day, and try to throw in some 30 minutes of cardio when you get the chance. Like, that's a better way to say something so the person you're talking to understands the point, the reason.
It doesn't feel accused.
Yeah, it doesn't feel accused like, oh, you're not trying hard enough. The whole point is, if you're going on active walks, it's a great way to boost your metabolism. It's a great way to feel better, improve insulin resistance. Same with cardio.
Yeah.
So that's a better way of, I think, giving that information out.
The attitude, the disrespect.
I know. That is...
It's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And the next one is from Show Queen. She says, try hot milk and pepper for cramps. Well, I've never heard that
Just
one.
random things like this.
Yeah, I've never heard that
random
one.
things. Hot milk. I mean, honestly, like if you're okay, you need to be careful who you get your advice from, because you know, if somebody who has reverse PCOS, they wouldn't tell you drink hot milk.
Yeah.
And pepper, which
Yeah.
sounds awful.
It's going to impact your insulin resistance. I don't know what pepper's going to do, but we all know, we talked about milk so many times, how it can impact insulin resistance, cause inflammation. There's even research studies showing it can cause cystic acne. And in fact, there's even a research study showing the correlation of milk consumption and PCOS. A study done on 400 women with PCOS and milk consumption, and they found a direct correlation. So
I rest my case.
rest my case, Your Honor. All right.
Voila. She says, surgery will fix the problem.
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah.
I hear these stories of sisters who, like, the first thing they're told is to just like take out all their ovaries, and like they're not given a chance to do something that might reduce the cysts or
Yeah. And some people are even told that will cure PCOS when that is not true, because ovarian cyst is just one of the symptoms of PCOS. It's not the main. Like, of course, it is called polycystic ovarian syndrome, but to be diagnosed with PCOS, you need 2 out of 3 symptoms: ovarian cysts, irregular periods, and hyperandrogenism. So if you can still have irregular periods and hyperandrogenism and have PCOS, you don't have to only have ovarian cysts.
Yeah.
So it's really important to know.
How do people get off doing things like this? They get away with it.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Honestly. Oh.
And then Walla also sent another response saying, another statement that she's received is, don't eat beef and shrimp because they have hormones and cholesterol. Well, that one is, so a lot of like beef, you know, from cows and stuff, they can have hormones as a result of all the, you know, what is that called? Like livestock feeding, and like they pump cows with hormones.
They inject them with hormones to make more milk and constantly make milk.
Yeah, and they give them like steroids so that they have more meat, so that they get more from each cow. So there are hormones in beef, but it doesn't mean you have to completely cut out beef. I think the important thing is to get your beef from grass-fed and also like pasture raised. Like pasture raised is a really important one because they don't use as much, from what I know, they don't use as much like hormones and things like that. So you want to go for like pasture raised cows when you're buying beef. And
just be careful what you're choosing.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't just avoid it.
Yeah.
That's like, are we just going to avoid everything that can potentially harm PCOS, or are we going to navigate it?
Yeah,
so that we can live a pretty balanced lifestyle and be happy with the changes that we're making that can last, you know, lifelong, instead of being so restrictive.
Yeah, we just recommend, if you're going to buy beef, just buy it from better quality.
Yeah.
And I guess same thing with shrimp. I mean, I'm not really up to date on what's going on with shrimp, but they are bottom dwellers. So they do, you know, maybe have
Bottom dwellers.
Well, that's what they are, aren't they? Like lobsters and stuff.
Yeah.
They clean the bottom of the ocean. So I don't know. Like, I don't eat shrimp that much. Do you eat a lot of shrimp? I think
No, I
still
don't
eat it
know.
here and there, but yeah.
Yeah. All right,
right.
next.
So next one is from, why don't you read it, babe?
Daisy Ram.
No,
Don't-
you skip one.
Oh, sorry.
How dare you skip
Chantel.
Chantel Savage?
You have PCOS because you're quote unquote fat.
Oh my Lord.
What a horrible word, and what a horrible thing to say
Yeah.
to somebody.
Yeah. That's exactly what we heard today on the live too.
What? Who sits there and the words come out of their mouth? You say that to someone's face and you think it's okay. Like, how do you lay head to pillow that night
Yeah.
with a clear conscience after hurting someone's feelings so badly?
Yeah. If you take away one thing from this podcast or from PCOS Awareness Month, and I want everyone to yell this out into the world, weight gain doesn't cause PCOS.
Yes.
PCOS causes weight gain. Period. That's it. End of story. End of the book. End of the chapter.
I don't want to hear another thing about this.
That's the last installment of the Harry Potter series. That's it. All right.
Oh, Lord. What's next?
Next one is from, we got a couple left. Next one is Daisy Ram. Don't stop metformin even if you feel sick. You're feeling sick because you eat too many carbs. Oh my gosh.
I could just fall out of my chair.
Don't these doctors look at the research studies?
No, I guess not. I mean, I think with metformin, if you eat a lot of carbs, it's like hard for your body to digest it because of the metformin, something along those lines. But if you feel sick on metformin, I mean, is that the only thing that's going to help with blood sugar regulation? I mean, come on, there's research studies.
Yeah. Talking about the symptom or talking about the side effects of metformin. So it doesn't mean just because someone has side effects that they're eating too many carbs or eating too much.
Exactly.
What about we look at the studies and that talk about all these side effects?
And inositol, there's a study on inositol comparing it to metformin, showing that it is just as effective, but metformin has 5 times the side effects. All right, so why don't we just do a little research?
Yeah.
And I'm talking to the doctor who told you this.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe you can print the research study out. If you Google it, you'll find it immediately. Just print it out, take it to your doctor and be like, listen, I'm thinking of taking inositol. All right, my stomach hurts. I'm miserable. I don't need to suffer. We need to figure this out.
Yeah.
See what they say. And then you can purchase Ovasitol, which is an inositol supplement that we love. And I always jump up and down, scream and yell about it because it's so helpful, because I've seen so many testimonials from sisters who have taken it and gotten their periods back, didn't feel ill while they were healing their insulin resistance, improve their insulin sensitivity, improve their testosterone levels as a result of the insulin sensitivity getting better. And it's just, I post the testimonials, but we have like a whole album with thousands of them from sisters who have taken Ovasitol.
Yeah. The next one, and again, we're reading what's the most incorrect, well-meaning advice you've received about PCOS. So we're reading those your responses, and the next response is from Nishad, who says, "Just wash your skin properly, and that'll get rid of the acne." Oh.
Well,
why didn't we ever think of that?
Why didn't we think of that?
All the people, millions of people, not just with PCOS, but millions of people who suffer from acne, why don't we just wash our face? That's all that has to be done. Like, what a ridiculous thing that this sister was told.
Oh,
I'm sorry you were told that, Nishad. And there's so much more than that.
Especially with skin and cystic acne. My gosh, it's more inflammatory. It's more about what you're eating, and gluten and dairy. My God, every time I have just a little bit the acne, because I'm acne prone, it just flares up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. It has nothing to do with any of the I have tried every product. Let me tell you, I've wasted a lot of money on skincare and realized that, you know what? It's not that complicated. It's really what I'm eating.
Yeah. All right. Why don't you read the next one, babe?
All right. Echo says, take birth control to get your period back on track. We just answered this in a live today.
Yeah.
How birth control is giving you a fake period because it completely bypasses and numbs and turns off your entire hormonal system and takes over completely. And your hormonal system is this beautiful dance of hormones that happens throughout a period of about 28 days, where your estrogen's up and then it's down, and then your progesterone's up and then it's down. And, there's specific reasons why you need these things to happen, not just for your period to come on time, but for your bone health, your brain health, your psychology, your mood, your bloating, your skin. All of these are impacted by this hormonal, beautiful rhythm that happens within those 28 days. When you take birth control, it just turns it all off. Let's just turn off the music and put synthetic hormones and just have the same hormonal rhythm. And then, we withdraw. We stop taking it for 4 or 5 days. And then that's where our period comes. And then we start taking it again.
Placebo pills, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, those are the 4 placebo pills you see on like a birth control panel thing. Then those are what causes the bleed, you're saying?
Yeah.
Interesting, yeah. And the dangerous thing is, like, a lot of women with PCOS, when let's say they're 18 or 20, whatever, and that's when they're having their, trouble with their periods, they go to the doctor, and the doctor tells them, oh, here's a birth control, it'll help with your acne, it'll help with your weight gain, it'll help with etc. But what they don't tell you is, You take the pill, maybe you take it for 5-10 years. While you're taking it, all those symptoms are still there, but you just can't tell because they're being hidden by this birth control pill. Once you get off, all those symptoms can be even worse than they were 5-10 years ago because they've snowballed.
Yeah.
And it's not your fault, sister, for anyone taking birth control. It's just they don't properly educate you about this. So
Exactly.
And I don't want to scare anyone who's taking birth control. We just want you to be aware so you have the information. So when you do plan on getting off, you have a exit plan, because that's our number one recommendation for birth control is if you do plan on ever getting off, you want to have an exit plan so you have some steps to take and you don't just get off and like get this whirlwind of symptoms.
Well, the second you take it, or spironolactone or metformin, you should start thinking of what the exit plan is going to be.
Maybe in a couple years or 5 years, whatever that is. Yeah.
If it's helping you not suffer, like spironolactone, it can clear your skin, it can help stop the hair loss. Sure, like I'm not telling you don't take it or whatever. You make the decision. It can really help with managing the symptoms in that moment. But if you decide to take it, think of the exit plan. What are we going to do about the reason why you have high testosterone that's triggering the hair loss or the facial hair or the acne? How can we fix that? What supplements do we need to take? What foods do we need to eat? What blood sugar regulation do we need to do?
Yeah.
You know.
Next one is very similar to what we received earlier. This one from TB Viewpoint. Removing the cyst automatically cures you.
Nope.
We covered that. It's not a cure. And it's just unfortunate that they don't fully explain, what that involves.
I mean, the cysts happen because of a combination of inflammation and insulin issues.
Yeah.
And you can change the picture of your ovaries over a period of 3 months. Like if you reduce inflammation, if you reduce insulin levels and you get that under control, in 3 months, you can go get an ultrasound and you can have no cysts. And it's possible, but they don't tell you this. I don't know why. But you can do this. I've seen it. I've done it. And a lot of patients have. So I have pictures of people's ultrasounds.
You have proof of yours too. And we have so many pictures and photos of testimonials of people with their ultrasounds. So,
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. The next one is Upa Sanak. Is your laptop okay?
Yes.
Talian's laptop just turned off on her, so she can't read anymore.
Okay. Sirak, take it away.
Is it off? Is it out of battery?
It is out of battery.
Before this podcast started, I asked you, do you need your charger?
It didn't seem like I did.
And you said no.
I had
and you pushed
battery.
me away.
I had battery.
All right. I'm just kidding. Upa Sanak says, get married and have children as soon as possible.
Oh, the worst piece of advice. Just rush people into life decisions.
Yeah, right. Rushing them into like something that's going to change your whole life. I mean, it's great if you want to have kids and you should have kids whenever you want to. But if you don't, if let's say you have a plan of not having one for 5-10 years and someone tells you just have it.
You're going to marry some random person off the street and have kids immediately because your doctor said, hurry up.
Yeah, yeah.
Get out of here.
I know.
Makes
I agree.
me sick.
Well, didn't you marry someone random off the street?
Yeah.
AKA me.
I just swiped right on Tinder, married the first person I met you.
That's what you did. So, all right. We got 2 more left. Amanda, she says, going gluten-free just means cutting out carbs. Shake my head, she says.
Yeah, some people think that gluten-free works because they think that they just cut out all their carbs by going gluten-free. And
they just think that's what gluten-free is about.
Yeah. You're just swapping carbs.
Exactly.
Like you're eating potato instead of non-gluten-free pasta.
Yeah. In fact, it has nothing to do with carbs at all.
It has nothing to do with that.
It's more about actually finding a sustainable approach to a diet and lifestyle. You don't want to just cut your carbs out. You don't want to cut calories.
Yeah.
But when you're removing gluten and dairy, you're getting down to the inflammation. You're getting down to the insulin resistance, 2 of the main factors of PCOS. And you don't feel restricted because you're still having your number of carbs, whatever your carb tolerance is, and enjoying life.
Yeah.
All right. Last one is from Brittany Jackson. She says, doctor emailed me to lose weight and it would help. I was literally 108 pounds and already lean.
Wow.
How much...
I know.
What's going on?
I mean, they can really trigger eating disorders with PCOS just with the language and the just like being so incredibly disrespectful and inconsiderate of your entire picture of your health. It just triggers eating disorders.
Yeah.
You're 108 pounds. Like, why are you saying that to this patient?
Exactly. I don't know.
Makes me
It's-
sick. My cortisol's
sending
up to here.
email-
Somebody give me some CBD.
Yeah, and sending an email.
An
Like, what was
email.
the subject line when when the doctor sent
Just
that email?
lose weight.
Yeah, like it's so mean. And like, did they even like treat this person? Did they look at her blood work? Did they look at her underlying
Do they know
issues?
of anything
Did they
about
try to,
PCOS?
did they try to understand her PCOS type? You know, there's so many layers and layers.
Do they know that this is like a metabolic
Yeah.
condition?
Yeah.
Some people don't gain weight. Some people lose weight with PCOS because
Mm-hmm.
it's metabolic.
Yeah.
My neck. So upset.
All right. So that's actually all the responses that we got from you, sisters. Again, these were all the most incorrect, well-meaning advice that you've received about PCOS. And we covered them all and told you how we feel about it. Now, we're not done just yet. Again, it is PCOS Awareness Month, so we're going to keep the ball rolling. We got a little bit left. And let's go ahead and answer a voicemail from our hotline. If you're new to this podcast, we have a hotline at 1-833-ASK-PCOS, 1-833-ASK-PCOS. You can leave a voicemail, you can leave a text, and we answer them, we play them on this podcast. It's also toll-free, so you can call anytime. So let's play today's.
Hit it.
Hi, I'm a newly diagnosed person with PCOS. I was wondering, for the gluten and dairy, does it have to be 100%? Or can you just cut it out, 90% of the time and still have times to indulge? Or will sporadic indulgences kind of defeat the entire purpose? Thank you.
Great question.
Yeah, it just depends on the person. Like I sporadically indulge in dairy, but then I break out. So you have to know how much your body can tolerate. Sometimes I hear from sisters who say that they've done it like 80% and they've seen great results and they're happy with it. They've lost weight, they feel better. And if that works for you, then do 80%. Everyone's different.
Yeah, I think one thing we would suggest is maybe cutting out for 30 days, like you said earlier.
Try to be consistent for 30 days.
Yeah, so you know what level is okay
Yeah.
for you because you can introduce it back slowly and then okay, this was too much, this was okay, and this was not good. So you can gauge it that way. So yeah, like Tallene said, some people do 80, some do 90. I think Tallene does like 99.9, and then once in a while when we're out or something, like you have a bite of this or that. Or like key lime pie.
We went to the neighbor's house and they had this delicious key lime pie from Susie Cakes. And
is that nationwide, Susie Cakes?
I don't know. It's here in Newport Beach, but I don't know. And it's so good. And oh my gosh, it was key lime pie. So I was like, okay, maybe I can just have like some of the filling, So I had a spoonful. I'm okay so far. Nothing's happened. We'll see tomorrow.
I always notice because you get a little bit of acne under your jawline, and then I'll be like, ooh, someone
had dairy.
Someone had a little bit of dairy, but then it goes away after a day.
Yeah,
you only have it like
a couple
here or there,
days.
so,
yeah, but everyone's different.
Yeah,
Do you?
absolutely. All right. So let's go to the last part, our wins of the week. Now, I just want to do a little bit of a reminder. It is PCOS Awareness Month, and we're doing a very, very special bonus, and we've partnered with Ovasitol to do this. So anyone who buys Ovasitol in the month of September, you will receive 2 weeks free supply of Ovasitol and a 2-week trial in the sisterhood. All you have to do is use our PRC code 292660 when you order Ovasitol. Again, you'll get your 3-month supply, but as a special bonus, a 2-week free supply plus 2 weeks free in the sisterhood.
That's right. All right, so the first win is from Angiza Yusufzal Mohammed. She says, I have a few amazing things to share and one to ask. 1, I have lost 10 pounds and am feeling so much more informed since joining the sisterhood. 2, this past week on Day 34 of my cycle, I felt cramps and had back pain. I saw someone share that's what they feel when they are ovulating, and so I decided to check, and I was. I haven't ovulated in 6 months, so I was so excited.
Wow.
That's
Great job,
awesome.
Angeza. That's amazing.
Congrats. Ovulating. I mean, that's a sign that you're doing all the right things, because with PCOS, not ovulating is really something that drives symptoms.
Yeah.
Or
it can be so frustrating too, because for 6 months, imagine the stress that builds up, and it's such a great relief to hear that she's like ovulating and feeling better. She's excited. That's awesome.
Go, girl. Next.
All right. Do you want to read this one too?
Sure.
Yeah. So I read a lot of the responses, but now Tallene has a piece of paper to read them from, so she can read it.
K-Bird Bonner. She's also in the sisterhood, and she posted a beautiful picture of her meal. She says, This is a delicious turkey chili. Thanks, Talene, for the brilliant recipe. I have only ever made chili with beef before, and this was really light and flavorsome. Day 3 of monitoring my carbs and feeling so much better. Blood sugar feels balanced, no more exhaustion after dinner or hunger headaches at all. That's awesome.
Great job,
So
K-Bird.
happy for you. And this looks like a delicious meal. Doesn't look like you're depriving anything.
It actually looks like something you would make for me, you know, with the ground beef or the chili with the avocado on top. Is that like parsley or what is that? Is that a salad on the side?
I feel like I haven't made this dish in a while.
So good.
Maybe I'll make it next week.
Yeah. And by the way, heads up for all the sisters in the sisterhood. We are going to be dropping some new fun recipes in a couple of weeks. Going to be really, really nice. And we also put vegetarian and vegan recipes for all our vegetarian vegan sisters so that you have support, you have the recipes that you need. So fun stuff is coming.
We have lots of good resources coming your way, sisters.
Yeah. And we even have a weekly goal plan.
Yeah.
So every week we release this a 7-day plan, and each day is one goal that you can basically check off.
Yes,
and
a small attainable goal to help you move towards reversing PCOS. Lifestyle changes, you can't just start them tomorrow and be perfect at them. So we break it down for you in this amazing 7-day checklist with lots of attainable goals, just one per day.
Yeah. And these goals can be something like maybe going on a 20-minute walk or doing one of the workouts in the sisterhood or just trying out one of the recipes for lunch.
Yeah.
Very, one goal. We want to set you up for success. And we feel the best way is to just take it one day at a time.
That's right. Take it one step at a time, sisters.
Yes. All right. This was really fun episode. Really enjoyed this one, babe. And again, we want to just say happy PCOS Awareness Month to all the sisters. We're here for you to support you all the way. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to DM us on Instagram. You guys know PCOS.weightloss. And of course, we have our private Facebook community. If you ever have any questions there, me and Talene are always in there in the sisterhood answering your questions. So
that's right, sisters.
Until then, we will see you soon and have a great week.
Talk to you soon, sisters.
Bye.
Bye. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you have to come check out the Sisterhood. It's my monthly membership site where sisters just like you are learning how to move through the stages of PCOS. From stage 1, cold and alone at the doctor's office, to stage 5, nailing the PCOS lifestyle, gluten and dairy free. Get ready to finally feel in control of your body again.